Thou art my light, my glimmer.
Alright, this is the sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
In life, as in death.
Pathlessness wherever you look.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
Walk blessed. Bloody weather.
You just wait and see. Fucking sissy.
Brother, did you get my letter?
Ah, yes. I did. Majesty.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here, so it's a place you'll probably see often in the near future. Ah, and just below the Chronicum is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the Scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods as well. I suggest you speak to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready to take the oath. Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon. Yes?
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
And you actually believe this
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking rot.
I don't believe I know. The mercenary, he might not be the shining knight of Castle Starsound, but he's better than most of your men. I want him, and you will need to convince your Truchessa of it.
Is that so? Very well, I will convince her. You will hear from me.
I hope so. Well, look at that. You've actually survived the
Prophetess,
pointless test.
good to see you.
Let's
How do
hope
you
those
feel?
ignorant fools will treat you with more respect than us heretics, although I truly doubt it.
Oh, what? So little confidence in yourself? I knew you would pass. If I had doubted your abilities, even to the slightest, I would have never spoken out for you. In any case, all that is left to do now is to recite the oath. Then we will finally deal with the more urgent matters. None of it, you'll see. The ceremony needs a little preparation, 1 day at least. Come back then. Even if it hurts to lose more time, the cleansing approaches, I can feel it. Just this night I had another of the dreams. People I knew, including you. But these people weren't themselves. There was something else, and it spoke through them. They mocked us and said our struggle against the cycle was pointless. It was peculiar. I believe that these beings are connected to the cycle. They must be the ones who cause it.
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking rot.
You did? That is interesting. It must be related to our roles as emissaries. Maybe there is a connection between us. None. Maybe they are demons or magical entities of some kind, but they are different from everything I know. In any case, if they are indeed responsible for the cycle, they are our enemies. That's what matters for now. Come back tomorrow for the ceremony. Yes. Why do you ask? They did. What are you getting at? A fair point. But in the future, just be upfront. I do not like such veiled remarks. So, yes, my time in the prison was harsh. The hunger, the degradation, to name the most obvious. The worst, however, was the isolation. Ironically enough, that was the last thing I had expected, you know. From all the suffering there is, it seems so banal. But it isn't. You either find ways to cope with it, or it breaks you. Fortunately, I managed to do the former. For me, it was memories of the time before my incarceration, the prospect of what would come after it. They were my window into the outer world, so to speak. They reminded me that I was more than this deprived creature I had become in those dungeons. Strange. Everything seemed too bright, too unreal. I especially felt that in the cloister with Narazul's mages. I had difficulty talking to other people, and whenever I did, it felt as if the others were like wax figures. Like some cruel joke put in front of my eyes in order to mock me. Better. Our mission, my responsibility here as a leader, it has helped me to find my way back into the real world. What would have been the alternative? A life as a fisherman? If the things I had to live through taught me one thing, then it was how important it is for me to be right here, right now, doing what I do. In fact, this is precisely what is missing in the world. People who do not let the whims of fate break their resolve. Now, enough of this. We have business to attend to. Yes? That depends on whom you ask. In some writings of the Pyreans, we are referred to as chosen ones, but this is wrong. A better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle also gave us powers and a task, but fulfilling that task is our own responsibility. No.
Oh, well.
Well, that is something else we only know in broad strokes. It is my task to lead mankind in its battle against the cleansing, to rally our strengths, so to speak. Yours is to read the Echo and help us gain the knowledge we need for victory. How exactly you're going to do that is something we still have to find out. I do not know, but there are hints. We will see. Good question. In their writing, the Pyreans say it has existed for aeons. Since this world exists, since the sea of eventualities exists, so too then does the cycle. It seems to be a part of existence, so to speak. The Pyreans didn't, and neither did the dozen civilizations that came before them. That is what we know. But as for what happened before that, our knowledge about the past is limited. All that matters for now is that the cycle threatens us, and that we have to stop it.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead? That's beyond me. Blazes, it's dark already? Time really does fly by. Huh?
My day! Phew. There you are. Here, a letter for you. What? Oh, that's very generous of you. Thank you. Safe travels, and may his light guide you.
Walk blessed, my lady. Sure, where to?
Yes?
Ah, there you are. Glad you made it. So, how was it? I heard quite some stories about this trial, and was never sure what to make of it. Yeah, I changed my mind. Come, let's go upstairs. It'll be worth it. There we are. Wait a second. So, wine or pipe? Termatralian brandy, vintage 8190. A real treasure. Consider it a congratulatory gift for passing the trial. Nothing better than a good pipe and a nice sight to go along with it. It's always sad to see how few people can truly appreciate these things. Anyway, tell me, fair lady, what is it that drives you? I've been asking that myself since we met. I mean, it's not like anyone's forcing you to play errand boy for Orenthiel, is there? And with your abilities, you could make a fortune as a mercenary. Not to mention the danger you put yourself in. Securing the excavation site, passing the trial, they certainly haven't been easy on you so far. Huh, I figure. In any case, it's interesting to see how you've gotten from being a magically gifted refugee to the center of all this. Kind of reminds me of a woman I used to travel with, Alicia. No matter where she went, she always ended up in the eye of the storm. We got hired for the same job. Usually I work better on my own, but this partnership was refreshing in every aspect. It felt good to know someone's got your back for a change, especially with the kind of work I do. Which is why we decided to stick together after that first job. And it went great, at least initially. She just cared too much, you know? Yeah, she was a mercenary, but she only ever picked the jobs where she thought she could help people, or at least do no damage. As you can imagine, that doesn't always work out in my profession, and whenever it didn't, she really took it to heart. It was sad, if you think about it, really. That was, let me think, about 3 years. Yeah, we went to Eraziel, Kira, Arkwend, and one time we even fought a group of Petrified on Millet. She fought as ardently as she lived. I don't know how I would have survived that fight without her. We traveled together and we had sex, so yes, according to most people's definition of it, we were a couple. Oh, several reasons. First of all, she was primarily a traveling healer, and used the money she got from those jobs to sustain herself. Secondly, Lycia wasn't all selflessness. She wanted to help people, yeah, but she also wanted to make experiences, I guess. Live like an eagle, love like a madman, and dream like a god. A bit cheesy, yeah, but that was her credo. Well, we were simply too different. I guess that's what it comes down to. Let's face it, I'm a pathetic white knight, and an even worse world savior. Lycia and I, we were just bound to clash. We were lovers, then friends, then lovers again, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, that was just too much for me. Too extreme. Too absorbing. Love as she defined it, yeah. Had it been for her, we would have married after that first night. That's a long story. Not one that puts me in a favorable light. At least if you're like most people. Let's save that for another time. Split up. Yeah, that's one way to put it. But anyway, enough about me. What about you? Has there ever been someone in your life? Or have you always been the lone wolf? That's my line. I, for one, have had enough drama to last me a lifetime. Sex is fine, but I guess I'm just not naive enough for anything else anymore. Love, love, love. People have such wrong-headed expectations, really. Sometimes I think it would help us all to finally admit that there isn't that much that separates us from the apes. Anyway, why don't you tell me a little more about this trial? I heard you passed it together with that quiet girl, Kalia. What's she like? I've heard some stories about her. That's just life, I think. There comes a point when you've done all you can. My. We've certainly lost track of time, haven't we? I really need to hit the hay for a couple hours now. I'll have to go look for some new work tomorrow. And I've heard about a nobleman who's looking for a sellsword. That is, if Arenthiel or old Bushybeard doesn't have a new job for me by then. Say what you want about them. Their pay is beyond generous. I'll see you around, fair lady. Huh? What? You mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times. But at least something happens. It makes this place less boring. Keep your chin up. Never walked back on the road from the aged man's abode. Oh, places. Sorry. I know. I can't say.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Idiots. They always go too easy on this guy. Yeah, it's not as if I didn't tell them that already.
Finally, come with me. As you wish.